Hello, welcome friends. Me Anila. The topic of my discussion is about fermentation. But before this, don't forget to like and subscribe my channel and press bell icon. Friends, in this video, I will tell you about fermentation or anaerobic respiration. Respiration is a process in which we obtain energy from sugars either in the presence or absence of oxygen. If we obtain energy in the presence of oxygen, it is called aerobic respiration. If we obtain energy from sugars in the absence of oxygen, it is called fermentation or anaerobic respiration. In respiration, glucose in the presence of oxygen is converted to carbon dioxide, water, and energy. On the other hand, in fermentation or in anaerobic respiration, sugars are converted either into acids, alcohols, or gases in the absence of oxygen. In this video, I will tell you about fermentation or anaerobic respiration in detail. It is a process in which microorganisms convert sugars into energy, producing alcohols, acids, or gases in the limited supply of oxygen. Process of breakdown of sugars without oxygen to release energy. What are sugars? Sugars are carbohydrate. These are compound containing aldehyde group or ketonic group or hydroxyl groups. Sugars are carbohydrates. Carbohydrates may be monosaccharide like glucose and fructose and galactose, or they may be disaccharide like sucrose and maltose, or may be polysaccharide like starch and glycogen. So fermentation is a process in which microorganisms convert, like bacteria, yeast, or muscle cells, convert sugars into energy in the form of ATP. ATP is an energy molecule, producing alcohol, that is ethanol, acids, that is lactic acid, or gases, that is carbon dioxide, in the limited supply of oxygen or in the scarcity of oxygen. So, in generally, process of breakdown of sugars without oxygen to release energy. This energy is in the form of ATP. ATP is an energy molecule containing adenine nitrogenous base, ribose sugar, and 3 phosphate groups. When these 3 phosphate groups are broken down, large amount of energy is released. So fermentation is the process of breakdown of sugars without oxygen to release energy. There are two main types of fermentation. Number one, alcoholic fermentation. As the name indicates, alcohols are produced, or lactic acid fermentation. As the name indicates, lactic acid is produced. So in the next slide, I will tell you about these two types of fermentation in detail. Alcoholic fermentation, as the name indicates, alcohol are produced. What are alcohol? These are carbon compound containing hydroxyl groups. A process in which yeast converts glucose into ethanol and carbon dioxide in the absence of oxygen. So yeast is a microorganism. It converts glucose, that is monosaccharide, into ethanol, that is alcohol, and carbon dioxide gas in the absence of oxygen. This carbon dioxide, when we cook food containing yeast, Carbon dioxide is released, resulting in rise in bread dough. In the manufacture of wine, ethanol is produced. These are examples of alcoholic fermentation. There are three steps of alcoholic fermentation. First is glycolysis. It occurs in cytoplasm. In cytoplasm, glucose is converted to 2-pyruvate to ATP and to NADH. Glucose is a monosaccharide. 2-pyruvate is a compound containing carboxylic groups and 2-ATP. As I have discussed earlier, ATP is an energy molecule containing 3-phosphate bonds. When these bonds are broken down, large amount of energy is released, and 2-NADH, that is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. This molecule produces 3-ATP. It is a reducing agent. So, So in the glycolysis, glucose is converted to 2-pyruvate, to ATP and to NADH. Formation of acetaldehyde. This is the second step. 2-pyruvate is converted to 2-acetaldehyde. That is reduction occurred because carboxylic group is converted into aldehydic group and 2 carbon dioxide molecules. That is the gas. Third step, reduction of acetaldehyde. 2-acetaldehyde is reduced to 2-ethanol. 2-NADH is converted to 2-NADOX plus. So 2-acetaldehyde is reduced to 2-ethanol and 2-NADH nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide is oxidized to NAD positive. So these are three steps. Now the overall equation is C6H12O6 is glucose, giving us two molecules of ethanol C2H5OH plus two molecules of carbon dioxide plus energy in the form of ATP. Examples. Number 1. Carbon dioxide helps in dough rise in bread. In food industry, yeast convert glucose into ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy. When we cook food, when we bake something, for example, in pizza bread, dough rise occur due to release of carbon dioxide. This is example of alcoholic fermentation. Second example is wine is an alcohol. Wine is an ethanol alcohol containing hydroxyl groups. Now, second type of fermentation is lactic acid fermentation. As the name indicates, glucose is converted to lactic acid, a process where bacteria or muscle cells, bacteria are microorganisms, muscle cells belongs to human body cells, convert glucose into lactic acid without oxygen. So, microorganisms or muscle cells convert glucose into lactic acid without oxygen. In this process, no carbon dioxide is released. It consists of two steps. Number 1, glycolysis that occurs in cytoplasm. Glucose is converted to 2-pyruvate to ATP to NADH, as similar as the same case in alcoholic fermentation as I have discussed earlier. So 2-pyruvate, 2-ATP, energy molecule, 2-NADH, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. Second step, conversion to lactic acid. 2-pyruvate is converted to lactic acid and 2-NAD plus. The 2NADH is converted to 2NAD plus oxidized form. So these two processes are the lactic acid fermentation. Equation. The overall equation of lactic acid fermentation C6H12O6 is a formula of glucose containing 6 carbon, 12 hydrogen, 6 oxygen. It produces lactic acid, two molecules of lactic acid, the 2CH3CHOCOH, a carboxylic containing compound plus energy. Examples. Number 1. Muscle cells use lactic acid fermentation to gain energy in the absence of oxygen. During intense exercise, we need energy, and because of scarcity of oxygen, the muscle cells use lactic acid fermentation to produce lactic acid and a small amount of energy. Lactic acid fermentation occurs in yogurt and pickles. In yogurt, lactic acid bacteria convert lactose sugar into lactic acid. This results in formation of yogurt and pickle, which are sour in taste. So these are processes that occurs without oxygen to gain energy. Alcoholic and lactic acid fermentation. Alcohol is produced, lactic acid is produced, and a small amount of energy is produced, while in aerobic respiration, large amount of ATP is produced, but in fermentation, low amount of energy is produced. So in this way, microorganisms ferment sugars. Friends, if you have any question, you can ask me on comments. I can help you. Thanks.